All right, thanks, Dave. Obviously, really good college basketball game. A tough team that's a team that's extremely difficult to guard and completely different than what we've seen thus far. And just really proud of our guys, how they've continued to persevere and stay the course, trust everything that was going on, and find a way. It hasn't been a real fun last 10 days or so around here, but these guys have stayed with us and continue to battle, and I'm really happy that they get rewarded for their efforts and their commitment. And obviously having Tyler back helps, but we got a lot of contributions across the board, and we're able to get stops there at the end when we needed to. Questions?
Go ahead, Jeff.
They called a timeout, I think 4.7 left. You're up 3. They got the shot off quickly. If you had the chance, were you going to try to foul up 3 there, or were you going to let it play out?
We were trying to foul. We were going to foul if it was put on the floor. Mm-hmm.
Todd in the back.
Greg, like I said, the 2 charges you guys drew in the second half were some of the biggest plays down the stretch. How did you see those develop? It looked like those were obviously pretty critical plays at the time that they happened, but what would that tell you about the way you guys played?
Well, I mean, finally we were able to, a week ago I'm sitting here and we couldn't get stops against Michigan State at the end, and tonight we were able to get stops. So hopefully that shows the growth of a team and the understanding of how important, stringing together consecutive stops there at the end, and 2 huge takes of the charges by Chucky. I mean, I'm going to call him a veteran. He's only in year 2, but to be able to recognize that and stand there and take that at a huge time was obviously those are game-winning plays.
Right here, Coach.
Greg, I think you told the radio that not going to play on Saturday. Do you have any more information about that?
I don't. We don't. I mean, we don't think it's going to happen. It's really, I learned about it a little bit this morning, but then I just told our staff and my ops guy I wanted to focus on our game and let our administration work with the Big Ten and the office. So I think we'll know more here in the next 24 hours, but our focus, or mine specifically, was all about tonight, and whatever happens next will happen.
Jim, go ahead.
I don't think I've heard you describe a game as must-win much over the years, but did this feel in that category to some degree?
Must win in what regard?
Like, if you don't get this one, then all of a sudden you're going on the road for 2 after a 4-game losing streak. And
Must win in terms of I needed to be able to sleep better at night, The hairline is receding fast enough as it is, But the guys our players needed this because they've been putting forth everything they have. I know it hasn't been easy without Tyler. It probably wasn't going to be easy with Tyler. But to see them get rewarded in the smiles in the locker room and the celebrations that, hey, you stay the course. Don't have a panic attack. But our staff, Joe, did a phenomenal job with the scouting report because this team is hard to prepare for. And coming off a physical game Saturday, we just did a simple walkthrough on Sunday, and fortunately able to apply a lot of our rules to preparation and not have to do a lot of physical pounding, and minimized yesterday too with the possessions. And like I said, just find a way in this league because you're going to go through stretches. Everybody, I look across the country, Jim, and you can go coast to coast, and really good teams are stumbling a little bit. It's hard over 30-plus games to stay consistent, and because there's so much parity, and if you have an injury or 2 thrown in, we've seen that in our league, we've seen it other places, so nobody's going to feel sorry for you, so you got to learn from it. Don't talk. We reviewed the film Sunday of Indiana, and then we got to turn the page because, like I said, we got a good team coming in here tonight.
Right in front.
Coach, I'm guessing Tyler wasn't 100%, but I'm just curious if you thought the way he started the second half kind of changed the game for you guys. Gets the loose ball, offensive rebound, the block, and then the steal and the score that kind of
Right.
starts that 10-2 run. I know it was closely contested, but obviously you guys had a different second half than you did the first after that point.
Yeah, we were better in the paint. I think we were 8 for 17 in the first half in the paint, which I told them it's not good enough. We got to be better than that in terms of converting, and I don't know what we were, but I assume it was better in the second half because we intentionally went there, and he delivered, Steve delivered, we're able to make Connor hit some big shots when we needed it, and we're able to string together enough stops down the stretch.
Todd?
You knew they were gonna shoot a lot of three-pointers coming in. How did you feel like you defended that, especially in the second half? That was, obviously a pretty key point when they could have gotten right back in, or stretched their lead a little bit more, even at some points.
Yeah, I mean, we never get consumed, Todd, with percentage. Our defense is built more on minimizing attempts. So a team that's shooting 30-plus threes per game, to hold them to 20 attempts, they can't make them if they can't get them off. So, and if you make a mistake and get out of sorts a little bit and start chasing, we had to play a lot of things 2 versus 2 as much as possible and not rely on help, which is contrary to how you have to play most teams. This is an unconventional team in our league with how they play, so it's a unique preparation, and our guys did a good job of following the plan.
Chris, right up front.
Coach, Steven struggled a bit on Saturday, but really bounced back. I think it was his third 20-point game in the last 6. What have you seen from him as far as progression this season? You talked a little bit at the start of the year of him kind of realizing what he was capable of. Have you seen him kind of start to find those matchups and exploit them?
Yeah, I mean, he's bigger, stronger. He's more physical in the paint, and he embraces the physical contact. And I think he's getting to a point where he's demanding the ball. We're running a lot of stuff through him there down the stretch, trying to touch him in different situations. Between him and Tyler, 2 pretty good post players to play through, and he's, like I said, he's converting at a higher rate, which is good to see. We got to get his free throw percentage up, and hopefully that'll continue to climb, and 3-point percentage can go up because he's capable of being an even more complete player. But the post development has been a very good sign for him.
Right in the middle here.
Hey, right in front of it. Connor obviously getting his first collegiate start tonight. Is that something that starting lineup you'll assess game to game, or is that more of a long-term move?
I mean, he earned it. I just felt he had earned it. So I wanted to give him a chance at it, a crack at it. So, I haven't watched Northwestern, if that happens, or Maryland, I guess, is next. So some of it's defensive matchups too, but he's earned it, and I don't think there's anything tonight. I thought he did, for the most part, did a really good job on a tough assignment chasing around Andrew Funk. That I've seen about all their games, and he's hard to keep up with, and they run a lot of great action for him. We told him it's like chasing a fifth-year senior version of yourself. So get ready. You're going to have your hands full.
Jeff?
You mentioned up top that you got contributions across the board. Would you include Jordan Davis in that?
Absolutely. Yes.
And the reason I ask is he's an old guy who gets replaced by a freshman. You know what that can do.
Yep. I thought he responded really well yesterday in practice. He was in a good place after I told him on Sunday I was making the change. And I thought he practiced well yesterday. He was in a good place mentally, and we obviously, with Max going down, we needed him tonight, and he stepped up and did some good things.
Okay, 2 more questions. Go ahead.
Greg,
On the stage.
we good? Hello? All right. Greg, actually 2 for you. Just talking about 1, how this group was kind of battle tested through that 3-game stretch without Tyler, and 2, a little more lighthearted, just that embrace that you had with the team after the end of the high five line. A lot of high energy, obviously, from that one. So just those 2 questions for you.
What was the first part of your question?
Just how this group was kind of battle tested.
Oh, battle tested, yeah.
From a growth standpoint.
Yeah, that's part of the journey that you go through, and a little bit bouncing back to Jim's question about, I don't know if there's ever must win. You always want to win. There's no one's not more important than the other, because if you don't get it done, it sits with you a little longer, and then you don't want them to pile up. So I'm just happy for our guys that they got they saw or got their fruits of the labor that they've been putting in, and did what they needed to do tonight against a good team. And what was the other part of your question?
Just the embrace you had with the guys.
Oh yeah, I know what they go through. Heck, I got a kid on the team, my own son, and I treat them all like my own sons. But it's not easy when they're taking shots from people on the outside, and you're not good enough, and you're not this, you're not that. To be able to see them rally and stick together, and that's always been an important part of every team we've had here, that you stick together through thick and thin, because there's going to be some thin. I can almost guarantee it. You're going to go through some adversity, and you have to be better because of it. That's where you grow as a team, being uncomfortable, having some adversity, and finding a way to fight your way through it. And when you get to the other side of it, hopefully you're better off because of it.
Final question.
Do you have an update on Max and what exactly happened there?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. It happened on the other end, and I haven't seen the film. He's getting some. I know he's got cut, so he's getting some stitches, and I haven't talked to him or seen him yet. So that'll be the next part of after I'm done here.